Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. We're here for our weekly business meeting. Today is Wednesday, May 19th. It is 11:03 a.m. Before we start our meeting, please join me in a brief moment of silence. All right, thank you very much. Let's take roll. Present in the hearing room, we have Commissioners Thomas, Belzer, and Jay Williams. Joining us virtually, we have Commissioners C. Williams, Caston, Irvin, and Powers. Attorney Butler?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, other members of the commission. The first order of business would be to set the next commission business meeting. The staff would recommend May 26th at 11 a.m.
All right, May 26th at 11 a.m. we will conduct our next business meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, we do have an administrative agenda item to bring before the commission, and I believe Ms. Boyd will present that this morning.
Thank you, sir. Executive Director Boyd.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. On this morning's revised administrative agenda, the dockets that are published are docket numbers 2021-88E, that's Dominion Energy South Carolina's 2021 avoided cost proceeding, docket number 2021-89E, Duke Energy Carolinas LLC's 2021 avoided cost proceeding, and docket number 2021-90E, Duke Energy Progress LLC's 2021 avoided cost proceeding. The first matter the staff would like to present to the commissioners relates to consideration by the commissioners of the issuance of a request for proposal for those dockets that I just named, and the purpose of the RFP is for a consultant and expert or consultants and experts as required by South Carolina Code Annotated Section 58-41-20I.
Thank you, ma'am.
And Mr. Chairman, the staff is just asking for permission to issue the request for proposal to fulfill the requirements of 58-41-20I.
Understood. Is there Vice Chair Belzer? Vice Chair Belzer, one second.
I didn't turn my mic on. I apologize.
All right.
I move that the commission instruct staff to issue RFPs in these dockets for consultants and experts as required by the statute. So move.
Okay. Hearing Vice Chair Belzer's motion, is there any discussion regarding the request by staff? Okay, hearing none, I will move to a vote to adopt Vice Chair Belzer's motion. Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Belzer?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin? Commissioner Irvin? Commissioner Powers?
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. Let's wait and see if we can make contact with Commissioner Irvin. Commissioner Thomas, did I skip you?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry about that. Commissioner Thomas?
Hey, can I?
Thomas votes aye.
All right, we're waiting to make contact with Commissioner Irvin.
Mr. Chairman, I have contact with Commissioner Irvin. I apologize for the interruption. He's on the phone.
Commissioner Irvin?
Yes, sir, I'm present.
All right, and how do you vote on the motion, sir?
Is there the motion pending? I vote aye.
All right, the ayes have it, the motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, there's a second part of the administrative agenda, item number 1. It relates to staff presentation of a marketing strategy by our Public Information Office, specifically Director Rob Bachman Jr., and it's related to the issuance of the RFP that the commissioners just approved in those 3 dockets.
All right,
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, thank you. For this opportunity, we'll be pursuing kind of a dual strategy. We intend to follow our usual protocol for developments at the Commission, but we will also be supplementing that with a new campaign that extends beyond our state. We'll be producing a press release this afternoon following this meeting. That'll be finalized and sent out to the usual contacts before the close of business Thursday to all major media players in the state. In addition, we'll also be sending out the RFP to other contacts, including the National Association of Regulatory Utility Commissioners on their RFP placement page, as well as the Association of Energy Services Professionals. They also have an RFP and proposal page. We'll also be reaching out to sort of local boards, including South Carolina Careers, Skyway, the South Carolina Business Opportunities Board through the State Financial Authority. And we'll also be issuing that press release to all local and regional contacts, including major newspapers and relevant websites, utility and business-focused publications, etc. And we'll be following our traditional media strategy, including we'll be creating social media posts and posting to the Commission's websites. If y'all have any further recommendations, I am available to tailor this strategy, incorporating any feedback. Thank you.
All right. Any questions about the marketing strategy from commissioners? I have a question, Mr. Bachman. You've listed a number of outlets you plan to reach out to. Do you have a number, a total?
Total, it's about 3 dozen. Yes, sir.
3 dozen, so 36. Okay. And that's in addition to what we're doing with the RFP, correct?
Yes, sir. That's in addition to the posting it on the Department of Administration's website and sending it to those same email addresses we used before. We're going to do some more research and add some more email addresses. So, yes, sir.
Let me ask you this question, Mr. Bachman. In addition to what you are proposing, have you considered or have you already made contact with our advisory panel or board, the Commission's advisory panel?
I had not included that yet, but I will do so. Yes, sir.
Would that be an issue, Executive Director Boyd? I don't want to create any conflicts, but we have a
Yes, sir.
large
I think
membership on the advisory panel.
we do, and as long as we post any correspondence, written correspondence that Mr. Bachman transmits to the advisory committee, we need to at least post it on DMS and serve those parties first, and then we can, I think it's more than appropriate because the parties will be notified.
Right, and for the commissioners, if you remember, the reason that we're going through this is during our last RFP, we only had one response, and so obviously we want more than one response. So we engaged our public information officer along with other creative methods to try to garner more attention to our RFP and our needs here. So now's the time to speak, commissioners, if you have any suggestions, questions, or concerns about this, because once this process starts moving, it moves fairly quickly.
Chairman Williams,
Commissioner Williams.
thank you. I don't want to assume anything here, but what was the advertisement process before for the previous promotion of this need for a response to the RFP?
Executive Director
Yeah,
Boyd.
Mr. Chairman, I do not remember everything that Procurement Director Hall said. I know that question was asked, and he mentioned some other sites that I just don't. I think one of them might have been SC Boss. I just don't remember everything other than the Department of Administration's website, the email addresses that he mentioned to the commissioners, and then he did mention some other locations. I just don't recall.
Right. From my memory, Commissioner Williams, it was a pretty robust process. I know, considering the fact that we only received one response, maybe one of the questions that an interested party would ask, well, who did you notify of the RFP? And based on the procurement director's response, and Executive Director Boyd, could you remind me of the director?
Sure, his Matthew Hall.
Based on Director Hall's response, I felt as if he did more than the minimum standard to spread the information to potential bidders. I remember him speaking to posting it on DOA's site. I remember him speaking to sending it to the emails that of interested parties that he received. What did he receive? Did he receive those emails from us?
He did. He received
Right.
them from our research, and then just that same week, we received requests to be included on any subscriptions, any notifications rather regarding RFPs. So those, yes, sir. He received
Right.
the list from the staff.
And that was in addition to several universities and nonprofit organizations that received the RFP. And so, you know, he really couldn't answer for us, you know, why we only received one bid. He did say that maybe there was some concern about the amount of work that we were requesting. So I think what's different about this RFP, correct me if I'm wrong, we're breaking it up.
Yes, sir. So the RFP, the draft RFP has lots, so that the proposals can include the filers who respond to the RFP can file proposals for one of the dockets in response to one of the dockets, two of the dockets, or all three. So.
Right. So hopefully with this RFP, we will get more responses. I'm not sure what else we can do, to be quite frank with you. I think we are exhausting all available options. Not to mention the fact that our meetings are live streamed. So, you know, those who are initiated in this area probably track, you know, what's going on in various jurisdictions. So, in addition to that, we now have our public information director, who is, if we approve, who will deploy a marketing strategy above and beyond what the procurement office will do. So I'm not really sure what else we can do. But now's the time. If you have suggestions or thoughts, now is the time to bring them to the table.
Chairman Williams?
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you. Director Boyd, one thought that occurs to me is that you have peers in every state in the nation, and they are the same people who are looking for some of the same information. And I realize NARUC is one of the ways that we are connected to all of them, but I wonder if there are, if there's a way to alert this opportunity with other directors in other utility commissions in the U.S. that might have sought similar information.
Okay, so you're asking us to send the RFP to a link, rather, to an email address for each commission?
I don't know the relationships you have with your peers, but I'm not being that specific. You'll know whether that is worthy of sharing, but yes, something simple like an email alert so that another person in your circumstance might pass it on.
Okay, so I think what we'll do, because we want to make sure that we don't take control over it before, that we kind of stay out of it, meaning the PSC, the process, until Director Matthews opens those proposals. So what we'll do is on the list, the Excel spreadsheet, we'll include those email addresses on the spreadsheet that we've already created and that we're updating, because questions should still be funneled through that office. He has included on the RFP, I'm sure you've noticed, there's a, it's designated that when questions are to be asked, and so I'd rather handle it that way. There's a deadline to ask questions about the proposals, and so we will include whatever additional email addresses so that everybody receives the same information. If that's okay.
I didn't mean to be talking about questions. I meant to be thinking of your peers who are directors in other utility commissions in the United States that are looking for unbiased and the best information on this subject matter, and thought that they might be able to help kind of cast cast a bigger, wider net for us. So it's not about questions once we have proposals. It's about the part of the process where we're trying to share the opportunity for the need for this service.
And Commissioner Williams, I understand exactly where you're coming from, and I think what may address your point, it may not be directly on point, but I think it may be in the neighborhood. Once we post this with NARUC, I'm pretty sure I've been to a NARUC meeting where they announced they have, for lack of a better term, a jobs board or opportunity board where posts are made that all NARUC members have access to. Now, I'm not necessarily sure I'm not sure if they would post this in that manner, but I do know that NARUC does a very good job of disseminating information to their members. I get way more emails than I care to share with all types of information. So I'm not sure how exactly they will use the information you send them, Mr. Bachman, but I feel fairly confident that they will disseminate it. Now, if I understand your point correctly, Commissioner Williams, it sounds as if you're saying that, hey, out of the 50 states, we know that South Carolina is not the only state, the only PSC that could be looking for an advisor in these areas. And so maybe another state like Mississippi or Alabama or Louisiana or Vermont or whoever, wherever, maybe they had a similar issue and maybe they had a firm that really helped them out. So, how to go about doing that, I really do not know. I think the only way to do it to make sure the process is consistent is to include those emails to those commissions and give them to the procurement director so they all receive the same information. It sounds like Director Boyd wanted to make sure that the process was consistent.
Yeah, until I consult with Procurement Director Hall, I don't really want to speak outside of the normal processes because I know that he's very protective of the process, and so
as he should be.
Yeah,
as he should be.
And I don't want. I understand, Commissioner Williams. I understand what you're wanting. I just want to make sure that we're consistent. So, I'll discuss that with him as to how to best
Right.
contact other state commissions.
Right.
Chairman?
Commissioner Irvin.
Thank you, sir. We went through an extensive vetting process on a similar docket in 2019. As you recall, we found, I believe, 4 proposals were qualified, and among the 4, we made a choice at that time. I'm wondering if those folks that had already been vetted and found qualified, are they going to be included in this second procurement effort, Madam Boyd?
I believe that they are, Commissioner Irvin. I don't want to speak for Executive Director Boyd, but I believe even in the original RFP, any and all information we've had here on file regarding consultants or advisors all that information, the contact information, was given to Procurement Director Hall.
Yes, sir.
So we've been pretty.
Very good.
We've given
good.
over
So,
everything that we have.
Yes, sir. And one of those entities that we found qualified was NRRI, which is the independent, nonprofit, nonpartisan arm of NARUC, and they have in-house expertise to assist commissions around the United States in just this kind of work. So I would encourage the new commissioners that aren't familiar with NRRI.org to look at them, not promoting them over anyone else right now, but simply look at their qualifications so that you'll be aware that they are a resource to our commission and all commissions around the country when these kind of issues come up. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Absolutely, sir. Okay, so we've had a lot of discussion. Are we ready to vote on the marketing plan?
Mr. Chairman, do we need a motion?
Commissioner Thomas, I would gladly hear any motion you have.
I move that we approve the communication and marketing plan as described by Mr. Brockman.
Hearing Commissioner Thomas's motion, is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, we'll vote, starting with Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
I vote aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Attorney Butler.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. With that, we'll move to the commission's utilities agenda for today. Item number 1 is docket number 2021-142C. This is a request for approval of an interconnection agreement between AT&T South Carolina and Dish Wireless LLC.
Is there a motion?
Chairman Williams, this is Commissioner Williams.
Commissioner Williams, you have the floor, ma'am.
I move that the commission approve the interconnection agreement between Bell South Telecommunications LLC doing business as AT&T South Carolina and Dish Wireless LLC.
Hearing Commissioner Williams' motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 2, Mr. Chairman, is docket number 2021-151C. This is a petition of CenturyLink to maintain its books and records pursuant to generally accepted accounting principles.
Thank you, sir. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission grant the petition of United Telephone Company of the Carolinas LLC doing business as CenturyLink to maintain its books and records pursuant to generally accepted accounting principles, sometimes referred to as GAAP.
Hearing Commissioner Thomas' motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 3 is docket number 2021-59-W. There's the question of an updated performance bond for Georgia Water and Well Service Incorporated.
Is there a motion?
Chairman Williams.
Commissioner Caston.
Having reviewed the petition of the Office of Regulatory Staff and a copy of the performance bond form executed by Georgia's Water and Well Service Incorporated, I noticed some technical issues in the form itself that need to be modified or clarified, which are unrelated to the company, such as typographical errors, spacing issues, and clarification for witnesses and signatories. Specific to this bond, there's also a need to change the principle of acknowledgement of probate to reflect execution in the state of Georgia, county of Jackson, rather than the state of South Carolina, county of Oconee, since a Georgia notary is used by Georgia Water and Well Service. I move that the commission revise the bond form by making these corrections and clarifications and provide a new form to the company and ORS for execution. The commission shall provide Georgia Water and Well Service and ORS with the revised form for use by the Georgia Water and Well Service and other utilities. I further move that the commission request by order that Georgia Water and Well Service re-execute the performance bond in the amount of $215,000 using the revised form. Georgia Water and Well Service must re-execute the performance bond and deliver the original executed bond to the commission within 14 calendar days from the date of the order and provide a copy of the bond to ORS. So moved.
Hearing Commissioner Caston's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers,
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 4 is docket number 2013-380S. We have a request for approval of an increase in the wholesale wastewater fee pass-through filed on behalf of Ocean Lakes Utilities, LP.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Powers.
I move that the commission approve the request for an increase in the pass-through wholesale rate from $3.31 to $3.43, effective on July 1st, 2021, with 2 conditions. First condition is that the company file with the commission proof of notice of the increase to the customers by June 1st, 2021. And second, that the board of directors of Grand Strand Water and Sewer, the wholesale provider, approved the increase prior to July 1st, 2021.
Hearing Commissioner Powers' motion, is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Vice Chair Belzer.
with regard to that second condition, I just want to clarify from Commissioner Powers that the utility, Ocean Lakes Utilities needs to provide proof that the board of Grand Strand Water and Sewer have approved the rate increase that they are going to charge as the provider. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Pass-through.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers,
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 5 is docket number 2017-280E. This is a request of Duke Energy Carolinas LLC for approval of transfer and sale of property in Franklin, North Carolina.
Is there a motion?
Chairman Williams, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston, you have the floor.
I move that the commission approve the transfer and sale of property in Franklin, North Carolina by Duke Energy Carolina LLC.
Hearing Commissioner Caston's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers,
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 6 is docket numbers 2020-264E and 2020-265E, having to do with Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC's establishment of solar choice metering tariffs.
Mr. Chairman.
Vice Chair Belzer, you have the floor.
Mr. Chairman, I have a motion, and it's a bit lengthy because there are a number of points that I wanted to make, so I just ask that the commission, as always, bear with me here. In the Duke Energy Carolinas and Duke Energy Progress Solar Choice dockets, I move the following. That the commission adopt and approve the stipulation made by Duke Energy Carolinas, Duke Energy Progress, North Carolina Sustainable Energy Association, Southern Environmental Law Center on behalf of South Carolina Coastal Conservation League, Southern Alliance for Clean Energy, and Upstate Forever, and Vote Solar. The stipulation provides in part that DEC and DEP will offer interim riders to residential customers submitting applications received from June 1, 2021 through and including December 31, 2021. These customers will remain on their existing rate schedule until May 31, 2029 and will be placed on a new NEM net energy metering rider, which will include monthly netting with excess energy credited at avoided cost and non-bypassable charges for costs not directly related to the provision of electric service for each applicant. Next, between June 1, 2021 and December 31, 2021, there will be a monthly cap on solar applications of 1.2 megawatts for DEC and 300 kilowatts for DEP per month. If the monthly cap is reached and a customer still wants to install solar upon an interim rider through 2029, the customer must withdraw its application and submit it again the next month. However, there is no assurance that capacity will be available. Next, customers under the interim riders will be allowed on this rate structure until May 31, 2029, at which point they will be given the option to switch to the permanent tariffs. If they elect not to be on the permanent tariffs, customers can stay on the standard residential tariff, but any volumetric price increases after their transfer year will be placed in a non-bypassable charge based on the estimated total solar energy production of their system size for the remaining life of the system. The solar customer will also be assessed a minimum bill set at $10 more than the basic facilities charge at that time. The minimum bill will be applied in the same manner as the monthly minimum bill in the permanent tariffs, in that it will recover some portion of the company's estimated customer and distribution cost. The minimum bill charge is reduced by the BFC and the portion of the customer's monthly volumetric energy charges specific to customer and distribution cost. Next, DEC and DEP will offer the permanent tariffs to residential customers submitting applications for the Solar Choice Program after December 31, 2021. Existing residential NEM solar customers will be given the option to switch to the permanent tariff in 2025 or 2029, depending upon the year in which their existing tariffs sunset. If the existing NEM solar customer elects not to be on that rate, they could stay on the standard residential tariff, but any volumetric price increase after the transfer year would be placed in a non-bypassable charge based on their system size for the remaining life of the system and will include monthly netting of excess energy. The existing NEM customer would also be assessed a minimum bill set at $10 more than the BFC charge at that time. This minimum bill will be applied in the same manner as the monthly minimum bill in the permanent tariffs, in that it will recover customer and distribution costs. The minimum bill charge is reduced by the BFC and the portion of the customer's monthly volumetric energy charges specific to customer and distribution cost. The permanent tariff for residential customer generators is a critical peak pricing time of use tariff. The provisions of the permanent tariff are set forth in Exhibit 1 attached to the stipulation. The permanent tariff includes, among other provisions, prices for peak, off-peak, super off-peak, and critical peak periods. Provides for a monthly grid access fee for system sizes greater than 15 kilowatts DC. Provides for a monthly minimum bill of $30, which is reduced by the BFC and the portion of the customer's monthly volumetric energy charges specific to customer and distribution charges. Provisions for netting provisions for netting excess exports on a monthly basis, and a provision to keep the general rate structure of volumetric time-varying rates and no demand charges described in the permanent tariff open to customers for at least 10 years. The parties to the stipulation also agree to initiate a stakeholder process whereby the parties, in consultation with other interested stakeholders, will explore a residential solar choice program option tailored to low-income customers as a potential future energy efficiency or demand response program. The companies agree to work with stakeholders within 180 days to ensure broad technology inclusion and identify other peak load reduction technologies that can be used in conjunction with the Solar Choice program. As a step toward achieving this goal, the companies will develop and soon file EEDSM programs for customer generators for consideration in the company's EEDSM dockets in South Carolina and North Carolina. Next, I move that the Commission adopt the stipulation made by Duke Energy Carolinas, Duke Energy Progress, and Alder Energy Systems Incorporated. That stipulation provides in part that DEC and DEP will offer the non-residential riders to non-residential customer generators applying for interconnection after June 1, 2021. Those customers will be served under their existing tariff and a non-residential rider, which will include monthly netting of excess energy. Monthly excess net imports will be applied as a bill credit at the same rate as the residential customer generators, which are derived from the company's avoided cost docket. Customers who sign up for a non-residential rider will be eligible to remain on the rider for 10 years from the interconnection approval date, and during that time, the rate structure for each customer will remain unchanged. The non-residential riders available to small general service rate class customers will be offered for a period of 5 years from the date the Commission approves the rider or until a cap on the total solar capacity for this rate class is met, whichever occurs first, unless a new non-residential customer generator rider is approved by the Commission outside of this stipulation. The cap shall be 5 megawatts AC in the DEC South Carolina system and 1 megawatt AC in the DEP South Carolina region under this rider. I note that the caps should help mitigate any risk of any cost shift. After June 1, 2026, the companies may propose changes to the rate structure within the non-residential riders for new customers or place existing customers on the customer generator rider in effect at the end of their 10-year grandfathering period. Under the non-residential riders, non-residential customer generators shall earn 1 renewable energy credit, or REC, for each megawatt hour produced by the customer generator's on-site generation. The stipulation sets forth additional terms related to RECs, including but not limited to REC billing and reporting fees, and opt-out of the REC fee provision, customer responsibilities, and other terms. Mr. Chairman, these stipulations were clearly the work of significant negotiations, and I don't mean to go too far out on a limb, but I think I can speak for the Commission in recognizing and appreciating the time and efforts from the stipulating parties to reach these agreements as set forth in the stipulations. That's my motion. Thank you.
Hearing Vice Chair Belzer's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, other commissioners, the next items may be taken together, items 7 and 8. These are both power purchase agreements. One is a power purchase agreement between Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Northbrook Carolina Hydro LLC, Holidays Bridge. The other is a power purchase agreement between Duke Energy Carolinas and Northbrook Carolina Hydro LLC, Saluda. In both cases, the request is that the Commission accept the power purchase agreements for filing and grant the request for confidential treatment of certain portions of the agreement deemed confidential by the company.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would move that the power purchase agreements in items 7 and 8, as described by Mr. Butler, be accepted the following, and that the request for confidential treatment of certain portions of the agreements be granted. I so move.
Hearing Commissioner Powers' motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer. Commissioner Caston.
I vote aye.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, other commissioners, item number 9 is docket number 2020-13-A. This is the application of Chem Nuclear Systems for adjustments in the levels of allowable costs. The matter was heard before the commission and is now ready for final disposition.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Vice Chair Belzer.
in docket number 2020-13-A, I move that the commission accept cost of $4,783,889 identified by Chem Nuclear as being recoverable for its fiscal year ending June 30, 2020. That the commission accept and identify as allowable cost for fiscal year ending June 30, 2021, fixed cost of $3,078,522 and irregular cost of $577,277. And that the commission approve variable cost rates for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2021, as proposed and contained in Appendix B to the joint proposed order filed by the parties. The actual expenses in the variable cost category will be determined in next year's proceeding and will be dependent on actual volumes and classes of waste received. So move.
Hearing Vice Chair Belzer's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, other members of the commission, this does complete the commission's consideration of today's utilities agenda. And we're ready now to move on to the transportation agenda. Items number 1 through 3 should be taken together, we believe. They're all applications for Class C authority, and I'll list them. Item number 1 is the application of Carlos Farmer for Class C taxi certificate. Number 2 is docket number 2021-155T, the application of Mr. Pete Transport, LLC, for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 3 is docket number 2021-156T, the application of Independent Women Transportation, LLC, for a Class C non-emergency certificate.
Is there a motion?
Chairman Williams, I have a motion.
You have the floor, Commissioner Williams.
Thank you. I move that the commission approve the applications for Class C authority in items 1 through 3 as listed by Mr. Butler.
Hearing Commissioner Williams' motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, other commissioners, item 4 is docket number 2021-30-T. This is the application of Antioch Educational Center for a Class A restricted certificate. Commission heard this matter on May 13th, and the matter is ready for final disposition.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to make a motion, but first I'd also like to say that the presentation at the hearing that we heard when we heard this case was outstanding. I think they did an excellent job and have an excellent mission and made it very clear what their mission was. I would move that the commission approve the application of Antioch Educational Center for Class A restricted certificate.
All right. Hearing Commissioner Powers' motion, is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Vice Chair Belzer?
I join in Commissioner Powers' comments. From the presentation, there seems to be a real need in this area for the service that this applicant wants to provide. And I just wish them the best of luck, because it sounds like that they're going to really be able to, I think, help some individuals in their area. And I would note that this hearing was last week, and there were 3 commissioners that unfortunately were unable to hear that presentation. But it really was a good hearing and a good presentation by the applicant. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Belzer. I was one of those commissioners that attended rate school and was unable to hear the presentation. I'll let my fellow commissioners identify themselves, but because I was in attendance at rate school and unable to participate in the hearing, I am recused from voting in this matter. Any further discussion?
Well, I'll add it, Chairman Williams, this is Commissioner Williams. I'll add at this point that I was another one of the commissioners who was attending rate school, and regret that I was unable to hear this presentation because it sounds compelling, but I will not be voting as well.
Chairman Williams,
Commissioner Caston?
I too was at the same rate school, and it does sound very compelling, but I will be unable to vote also.
All right. If there's no more discussion, we will vote, starting with Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Urban?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Powers?
Aye.
The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, other members of the commission, the staff would recommend that you take item numbers 5 and 6 together. These are requests for extension. I'll list them. Item 5 is docket number 2020-295T. It's a request of Neighbor to Neighbor Transport Services, LLC, for an extension of time until June 15, 2021 to comply with commission rules and regulations. And item number 6 is the request of James Powell, DBA A to B Moving and Services, for a 90-day extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Urban?
Thanks, sir. I move the commission grant these requests for extensions of time in items 5 and 6 as outlined by Mr. Butler. So moved.
Hearing Commissioner Urban's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1. Commissioner Williams?
I vote aye. I vote aye.
Vice Chair Belzer?
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Urban?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Powers?
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, other commissioners, items 7 through 10 are all requests to amend. Staff would recommend that these be taken together, and I will outline these. They are as follows. Item number 7 is docket number 2021-128T. This is the request of Matthew D. Brown, Jr. to amend his application for Class C taxi certificate to read Matthew D. Brown, Jr., DBA Elite Taxi. Number 8 is docket number 2021-81T. It's a request of Care Transportation Services, LLC, to amend its Class C non-emergency certificate, number 9528, to read statewide. Number 9 is docket number 2021-52T. This is the request of Jesse Fordham, DBA Madoff Taxi Service, to amend his Class C taxi certificate, number 573, to read Madoff Taxi Service, LLC. And finally, item number 10 is docket number 2013-94T, which is the request of RBS Transportation, LLC, to amend its Class C non-emergency certificate 8734 to read 15 passengers.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission grant the request to amend in items numbers 7 through 10 as listed by Mr. Butler.
Hearing Commissioner Thomas's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, items 11 and 12 are requests to suspend. Again, staff recommends that the commission take these together, and I will list these. Item number 11 is docket number 2002-59T. It's a request of Davis & Sons Charters, LLC, to extend its suspension of its Class C charter bus certificate number 0145A until November 18th, 2021. And number 12 is a request of Miracle Taxi, LLC, to suspend its Class C taxi certificate number 8305A until May 19th, 2022.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Urban.
I move the commission grant these two requests to suspend certificates in items number 11 and 12 as listed by Mr. Butler. So moved.
Hearing Commissioner Thomas's motion, Commissioner Urban's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
I vote aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, we have one request for reinstatement at this time. This is docket number 2011-382T, and this is number 13 on the transportation agenda. It's a request of Burgundy Taxi Service, LLC, for reinstatement of its Class C taxi certificate number 8522.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission grant the request of Burgundy Taxi Service Incorporated for reinstatement of Class C taxi certificate number 8522, subject to all commission rules and regulations. So moved.
Hearing Commissioner Thomas' motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Urban.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, other members of the commission, item number 14 is a request for sale of certificate and assets. This was the application of Armstrong Relocation Company, Charleston, LLC, for the sale, transfer, or lease of Class E household goods certificate from Dale J. Cook, Moving and Storage. This was a hearing again before the commission on May 13th, and that transfer of certificate and assets is now before the commission for final disposition.
All right. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Urban.
I move the commission approve the sale of Class E household goods certificate number 2977 and other assets from Dale J. Cook Moving and Storage Incorporated to Armstrong Relocation Company, Charleston, LLC. So moved.
All right. Hearing Commissioner Urban's motion, is there any discussion? Note for the record that I was not present during this hearing last week as I was in rate school. As such, I am recused and will not vote in this matter.
Chairman Williams,
Commissioner Williams.
I too was in rate school and will not be voting on this matter as I was not able to hear the case.
Yes, ma'am.
Chairman Williams, same with me. I was at the same rate school and unfortunately missed this hearing.
Roger that. All right. If there's no more discussion, we'll vote. Starting with Vice Chair Belzer,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
The ayes have it. The motion carries.
And Mr. Chairman, that does complete the transportation agenda for today, and in fact, completes all agendas.
All right. Thank you, Attorney Butler. Thank you, Executive Director Boyd. Thank you, Public Information Officer Bachman. We appreciate your service today. We will be back on Wednesday, May 26th at 11 a.m. Enjoy your day.